Now at 10, danger on the rails. The effects of a derailment of a train carrying hazardous materials in downtown Topeka and what rail companies are doing to keep their tracks safe. Good evening. You're watching Kansas First News at 10. I'm Cristina Frank.
And I'm Jared Broyles. Thanks for joining us tonight. There have been 9 significant rail accidents involving crude oil in the U.S. and Canada since March of last year, according to the National Transportation Safety Board.
These include the July derailment of an oil train in Quebec that triggered an explosion and fire that killed 47 people and leveled a downtown neighborhood. Kansas First News anchor Nate Hill looks into how area emergency responders are preparing for such an event and what railway companies are doing to keep tracks safe.
Dave Sturban sees the images on TV like everyone else.
What goes through my mind is that if we had to do a half a mile in a complete circle evacuation of downtown Topeka and what that would entail.
The latest train derailment happened just last month in Lynchburg, Virginia. More than a dozen tank cars carrying crude oil caught fire, causing hundreds of people to be evacuated. According to the U.S. National Transportation Safety Board, the amount of crude oil transported by rail across North America has increased 400% since 2005. Those tank cars roll through northeast Kansas every day.
People in Lynchburg were evacuated in a half-mile radius of the derailment. So what would it look like if the same thing happened in downtown Topeka near the tracks at 4th and Adams? Well, the evacuation zone would include several different areas, including the fire department, the law enforcement center, City Hall and the county courthouse, even up to the State House grounds.
It's one of those things you always have to be thinking of, and from the emergency management standpoint is how are we going to deal with all of the trickle down then for all the evacuations? How do we deal with all those people?
Sturban says first responders simulate these types of derailments on a routine basis.
For years and years, the first responders have done the hazmat training. The railroads have been great to work with and help with scenarios where we go in and practice the hazmats and practice the fires.
Union Pacific spokesman Mark Davis says their company has trained more than 45,000 public responders and private contractors since 2003.
Our training typically involves where to get resources, in other words, information on products that they have, very important for them, by the way, what the valves on a tank car look like, what to do, what to not to do with those valves, and then just the general resource of having contacts.
Davis says UP's customers are telling them the amount of crude oil being transported will keep going up. Knowing that, he says keeping the infrastructure in top shape is key.
If you have a solid track structure, that gives you a good base to operate your trains on. And so for Union Pacific, 2007-2013, we've invested almost $22 billion of our own private money.
Union Pacific boasts a success rate of 99.997% when it comes to transporting hazardous materials.
Do we rest on that? Heavens no.
So, is Shawnee County ready for such an event?
I think we're as prepared as we can be. Limited funding, doesn't help a lot. But I think as far as planning, I think people are realistic. But the problem is, if you have an incident like that, there's nothing easy about it, and a lot of people are going to be inconvenienced.
While railroads work to keep up with demand and keep safety a top priority, Sturbans hopes these scenarios don't one day become reality. Nate Hill, Kansas First News.
The federal government recently issued an emergency order that railroads must warn states before transporting large amounts of crude oil through their area. Here's BNSF's response to that order. The safety of the communities where we operate is our highest concern. BNSF, as a matter of practice, makes commodity information available upon request to state agencies and emergency response organizations concerning hazardous materials transported on its routes. Additionally, BNSF believes that using the proper equipment for the transportation of rail freight contributes to mitigation of product releases. BNSF believes that promulgation of a federal tank car standard will provide much-needed certainty for shippers and improved safety and response time for all first responders. As for Union Pacific, Davis says its operating team is still reviewing the order. We've posted information about the history of crude oil production in the U.S., including where most of this crude oil is coming from, on our website at kansasfirstnews.com.
A breezy evening, clear skies here. There are a few thunderstorms over the Nebraska Panhandle approaching North Platte. Most of the computer models will keep that along the north of I-80. May throw a little bit of cloud cover over our northern counties in the morning. 79 though right now in Manhattan, 73 at Emporia, 77 currently in Topeka. South wind still blowing at about 13 to 23 miles per hour at Junction City. We'll keep a 15 to 25 range tonight as we drop down to 67 degrees, but we are tracking increasing storm chances later in the week. When to expect them? That's coming up.
We now know the name of the man who drowned after the boat he was in capsized yesterday at Tuttle Creek Reservoir. According to Riley County Police, 25-year-old Matthew Mann's body was found last night at about 10. The Junction City resident went missing after the fishing boat he and 2 other people were in sank. 9 different emergency crews, including Riley County Police and Mission Township Water Rescue, searched for Mann for 7.5 hours before they found his body. Mann and the 2 other passengers were not wearing life jackets.
As far as we can tell, it's just an accident. It's not being investigated as anything suspicious. There's no crimes that we're investigating. Just a terrible and tragic accident.
Riley County Police say 22-year-old Jessica Rigodos and 28-year-old Joshua Jacobs also fell into the water when the boat was sinking. A fisherman was able to help rescue them. Rigodos was taken to the hospital with a non-life-threatening injury, and Jacobs had minor injuries.
Family and friends are grieving tonight after a teen died in a car crash just days after his high school graduation. The Seaman School District says Ronald Graham Jr. was the driver of a car that ran into a tree on Northwest Lyman just after 3:30 this morning. It's not known what caused the crash. Graham was a Seaman High School senior who had just graduated over the weekend. Salina police are trying to find out what caused a deadly explosion in the cab of a pickup truck. It happened around 12:30 this afternoon. The truck was parked near a sand volleyball court at Ivy Park. Witnesses found the man on the badly injured man on the ground beside the vehicle. He died 2 hours later at a hospital. Investigators do not believe the explosion was a mechanical failure in the truck, but say the blast could have been accidental.
A Missouri man arrested after a string of highway shootings in the Kansas City area pleaded not guilty today. Muhammad Whitaker faced 20 felony charges at his arraignment hearing in Jackson County Circuit Court. Prosecutors allege Whitaker opened fire on 10 vehicles from behind the wheel of his car in March and April around Kansas City. 3 people were injured in the shootings. He was arrested April 17th. He remains in jail on a $1 million bond. His trial is scheduled to start June 6th.
A few pit bull owners had a sigh of relief after a city commissioners meeting in Holton tonight. We first told you 2 weeks ago the city was planning on enforcing a nearly 20-year-old ordinance that would ban the breed. Kansas First News reporter Nicolette Schleisman was at the meeting tonight. She's live in the newsroom with details on the meeting that got very passionate. Nicolette?
Cristina, the City Commission meeting room was packed for a 29-year-old ordinance against pit bulls in the city of Holton. A group of 7 women against the pit bull discriminatory ordinance stood in front of the commissioners tonight. They handed them a petition of 431 Holton residents had signed to get rid of or change the ordinance that does not allow pit bulls in the city. The city originally gave a deadline of this week for the owners to get rid of their dogs. Commissioners decided to give a 2-week extension to allow pit bull owners who have vaccinated their dogs prior to May 8th to keep them in the city.
The law says they are illegal in Holton and they're supposed to be picked up and got out of town.
Is it fair since they haven't enforced it in all this time? Maybe not. But, I mean, it doesn't mean I'm safe either. I'm safe for 2 weeks.
There were 5 pit bull owners that showed up to the meeting. The extension will only apply to 2 of those 5 pit bull owners at the meeting tonight. Owners will have to bring in proof of vaccination tomorrow to the City Hall. They've also decided that commissioners will revisit this ordinance and make a decision at the next meeting in June. Live in the newsroom, Nicolette Schleisman, Kansas First News.
Thanks, Nicolette. And at the meeting, city commissioners said, quote, if you have a dog in this town that doesn't have a tag tomorrow, it is getting picked up, end quote.
Changes are in store for the Kansas teacher licensure process under a new state law aimed at making it easier for people without education degrees to get into classrooms. Legislators passed the measure as education officials sought to increase the available pool of teachers in science, math, engineering, and technology. The law takes effect July 1st. It will allow people with bachelor's degrees and significant work experience in the designated fields to teach in secondary schools. The State Board of Education will review proposed rules and regulations to implement the new state law.
A Wamego attraction makes the list as one of the top 10 Wizard of Oz destinations. CheapFlights.com calls Wamego's Oz Museum a living Oz shrine, noting that local businesses and residents get in on the act. It points out that the Oz Museum has more than 25,000 Oz artifacts. Cheap Flights also talked about the Autumn Oz Fest. Also on the list are Sony Pictures Studio, formerly MGM Studios, and Wicked the Musical.
A Mississippi man accused of sending ricin-laced letters to the president is going to prison.
Coming up on Kansas First News at 10, we'll tell you how many years he'll be behind bars.
Clear to partly cloudy skies for most of the night, but it's the breeze that will really be a factor in the temperatures overnight as we only fall back to 70 by 2 o'clock and into the upper 60s by early tomorrow morning. A few clouds passing through as a cluster of thunderstorms heads toward the Omaha area by tomorrow morning. We may get a little cloud cover from that. We're tracking storm chances for our area later this week. A look at when the best chances will be after the break.
You're watching Kansas First News at 10 with Jared Broyles, Cristina Frank, Chief Meteorologist Matt Miller, and Alex Weibel with sports.
Oscar winner Halle Berry, plus the very fit Tim McGraw.
You look good.
And Ellen gives away a brand new home. Next, all new Ellen.
Tomorrow at 4. Thomas the Tank Engine and friends are coming to the Midland Railway, and Kansas First News has your chance to win tickets. Go to the Kansas First News Facebook page and register for your chance to win. Winners will be announced weekday mornings from 6 to 7 on Kansas First News.
Nobody does steak and cheese like your local Subway. From the bold sriracha steak melt to the tempting Chipotle steak and cheese, and even the classic steak and bacon melt. This tasty trio covers the full spectrum of flavor. Subway, eat fresh.
Did you know that vinyl replacement windows are made out of plastic? That's a terrible way to make windows. Do this instead. Call Midland Exteriors. We only carry premium fiberglass Infinity windows from Marvin. Go to our website at midlandexteriors.com and see for yourself.
Only one casino in Kansas gives you more, and more, and more for your gaming dollar. What will happen if you get to step inside the tornado booth of Prairie Cash? You could land in a whole lot of green.
It only happens once a year and only lasts a very limited time. The Honda Memorial Day Sales Event. Accord, Civic, CR-V, Fit, Pilot, and Odyssey, all with remarkable Memorial Day savings. Get a new 2014 Civic for only $159 a month. The Honda Memorial Day Sales Event ends soon. So hurry to your Topeka Manhattan Honda dealer or visit shophonda.com today.
Experience the outdoors with Coleman products from Menards. These stacker coolers fit snugly together in a variety of sizes and colors, starting at $14.99 for a 20-can cooler. The 85-can Extreme Cooler is $39.98. Protect your home from flooding with Barracuda pumps. This battery backup sump system can pump over 1,300 gallons an hour, $119. Or upgrade to the 1/3 horsepower pump, handling up to 2,400 gallons per hour, $139.
Save big money at Menards.
Ooh, what's
that?
It's a Flatiza. It's new from Subway.
What's a Flatiza?
Tom, I'm patching you in.
The latest invention from Subway, the new Flatiza. Crispy flatbread loaded with mozzarella. Now get 2 for $5. Subway, eat fresh.
Directions to the nearest Subway?
Android users, download the new Kansas First News mobile app.
Well, good evening to you. A clear sky and 77 degrees out there, topped out at 86 degrees in Topeka. South winds at 13 miles per hour. And humidity levels have been creeping up. Dew points in the upper 50s and occasionally lower 60s. That higher humidity will be in place for several days to come still. Highs from our weather watchers, 85 from Bob and Darla Hanks at Westmoreland, as well as 85 from Elton Tenike at Seneca. But look at that, 96 degrees today at Hollis from Angela Koppel and 90 at Moroville from Ruston Nanaga. The western counties clipped with much hotter temperatures, and it's still holding in the lower 80s to the west. 73 at Emporia, 77 right now in Topeka, 76 Holton. South winds blowing at about 15 to 20 miles per hour, even 23 miles per hour currently at Junction City. Those breezes will stay rather brisk through the night. Those strong southerly winds continue through most of the night. Now you'll notice at 6:15 there's a shift in the winds between Concordia, Barnes, and Marysville, and it stays that way throughout the day. Northerly winds up north, strong southerly winds everywhere else, and that is a frontal boundary that will slip into the area and stall out over our northern counties. We've stayed pretty clear here through the evening hours. There's a cluster of thunderstorms forming over Nebraska, but what we're seeing is this little swirl in the clouds over northern Montana, clipping right along the U.S.-Canadian border, moving east. What that will do is it'll give a little push to some of the cooler air up north and shove a cold front southward. It'll lose a lot of the coolness as it arrives, and it's just going to push a wind shift into the northern counties, and that's what you saw showing up on Future Track. Now I'm going to take another look at Future Track, this one for precipitation. This front drops in and stays in place most of the week, stalled out, situated right on top of us. We'll have warm air up overhead, so doubtful that we'll see anything develop along the front tomorrow. We'll head into Wednesday, partly cloudy skies at times, but as we head later in the day, we may see an isolated storm trying to develop on that stalled out front right over the top of us. Wednesday night into Thursday, areas of showers and thunderstorms start to become more likely. Scattered storms into Thursday as well. And we'll see round after round by that point for the second half of the week of scattering of thunderstorms. Tonight, 67 degrees and a south breeze all night long. Look for high temperatures tomorrow, making it back to 90 degrees, hotter over the western counties. An isolated storm possible on Wednesday afternoon, and then the chances go up Wednesday night through the weekend, 30 to 40% scattering of thunderstorms. Not persistent rain, a round of storms, then a break, and a round of storms, then a break, and it'll be hit and miss each time, but a pretty decent rain chance for the second half of the week and much of Memorial Day weekend. An aerial view over Lake Perry from Lynn Blick. There's a view from north of Wamego of the sunset from Lou Gillen. A bird out on a fence. Nice day in Scranton from Darlene Bogren.
Looks like that heat returns tomorrow.
Yeah, getting back up to 90 degrees, but storm chances hold off until a little bit later in the week.
We're moving towards summer.
Yeah.
Thanks, Matt.
Putting your child to bed early may help keep them slim as they age.
Still ahead on Kansas First News at 10, what a new study says about the link between sleep and obesity.
Hi, Jan. Welcome to the Toyota Time sales event. We're looking for something safe with a really smooth ride. He's a very light sleeper. Oh, the Camry's safe and has a smooth, comfortable ride. Oh, the Camry's perfect. And you're in luck. It's Toyota Time, so it's a great time for a great deal.
Yes! Right now, get a Toyota Care lease on a new 2014.5 Camry SE for only $179 per month, which combines an affordable 2-year lease with Toyota Care, our no-cost maintenance plan. Toyota, let's go places.
A successful crop takes more than just great seed. Winfield is offering bold new ways to see your fields from start to finish. A partnership for turning data into powerful insights. From selecting the right seed to providing tools for accurate in-season adjustments, we're there at every step. Because helping you get the most from your fields doesn't come from any one thing we do. It comes from everything we do. Winfield. Be greater.
Multi-million-dollar athletes can afford almost anything. But what they really want, welcome back, sir, is what they never stop loving. McDonald's dollar menu at breakfast. With options like the sausage McMuffin and the McCafe coffee, they can pick their favorites and share the wealth. There's something for everyone to love at McDonald's.
Hi, I'm Dr. Kevin Linehan, your optometrist. I'd like to thank the people of Northeast Kansas and the communities that we serve. Without your support, we would not be able to continue to care for your eye care and eyewear needs. With the love that I have for my profession and the patients I serve, providing less than the best eye care and eyewear is simply unacceptable. With your continued trust and support, I will be able to do what I love, providing the eye care that you deserve. The Spectacle and me, Dr. Kevin Linehan, are available for all of your eyewear and eye care needs.
We stock what's hot, and at Briggs Kia in Topeka, we have the cars you're looking for with no down payment, no security deposit, and no first payment. Lease a 2014 Kia Soul $199 a month, a 2014 Rio $199 a month, or a 2014 Optima $209 a month. Plus, get Kia's exclusive 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain warranty. Come see why more import buyers are choosing Briggs Kia. The best value, more selection. See us at Briggs Kia, 3411 South Topeka Boulevard. Online at briggskia.com.
Sign up today for breaking news and severe weather text alerts sent straight to your phone at kansasfirstnews.com.
A Mississippi man accused of sending ricin-laced letters to President Obama and other officials is going to prison.
Today, the Justice Department said James Everett Dutschke was sentenced to 25 years behind bars. You may remember he pleaded guilty in January to possessing and mailing the threatening letters, which were dusted with the toxic compound. Dutschke was arrested in April 2013 after an investigation into the suspicious letters sent to the president, a Republican U.S. senator from Mississippi, and a Mississippi judge.
1.8 million pounds of ground beef products are being recalled over possible E. coli contamination. The U.S. Food Safety and Inspection Service made the announcement today. The recall covers beef from Wolverine Packing Company in Detroit, Michigan. Affected products were made between March 31st and April 18th. They were shipped to distributors for restaurant use in Massachusetts, Michigan, Missouri, and Ohio. Officials say they suspect 11 people were sickened by the beef.
Getting enough sleep as a child may be one of the keys to fighting off obesity. Researchers from Mass General Hospital followed more than 1,000 children from infancy to age 7. The children were recommended to get anywhere from 9 to 12 hours of sleep depending on age. The study found that those who consistently got less than that were more likely to be obese at age 7. Researchers say more studies are needed, but sleep does affect hormones and metabolism.
Coming up, we'll meet a Special Olympian who is headed for the national stage.
And the Royals continue their homestand. Alex brings us an update on the matchup with the Chicago White Sox. Stay with us.
The Storm Track Weather Team alerts you to dangerous weather threatening northeast Kansas.
We're out in our Storm Tracker bringing you live reports and tracking conditions so you can be prepared for what's heading your way.
Storm Track Weather. Always watching, always tracking.
This only happens once a year, so here we go. It's Toyota time with up to $2,000 customer cash back or 0% on 15 models. Now's the time to visit Little Apple Toyota. Get the deal of a lifetime on the Toyota of your dreams. Lease a new Corolla for just $149 a month for 24 months, and that includes Toyota Care 2-year maintenance. And Little Apple has over 100 used vehicles, import and domestic, all sale price. Don't miss out. May is Toyota time at Little Apple Toyota in Manhattan.
As a first responder, you're never going to know what you're pulling up to. The worst crashes are typically the ones that the victims would have lived if they'd only worn their seatbelt. Telling a family the person would have lived is the hardest part of my job. I'm Officer Baldwin, and I will write you a ticket for not wearing your seatbelt. In Kansas, it's the law. Click it or ticket, or worse.
I'm Derek Schmidt, your Kansas Attorney General. After a storm, scam artists often roll into town disguised as legitimate contractors and offering deals that sound good. If recent storms have damaged your roof, be especially cautious and don't sign a contract for repairs until you confirm that your roofer is registered with the Attorney General's office as required by law. To check the roofer registry and for more information about staying safe after the storms, visit www.inyourcornerkansas.org.
Odd Grilling.
It's all about freshness and great taste. What's your favorite? Salmon? Steaks? Brats? At Dillon's, you'll find low prices and great ideas for every barbecue. From carefully chosen, responsibly sourced meat and seafood to advice on grilling the perfect steak. So go ahead, get grilling.
Grill up some fresh Heritage Farm drumsticks or thighs and save. They're just 99 cents a pound. Great food, low prices at Dillon's.
Explore the depths of the earth when you travel 650 feet down to Stratica, the Kansas Underground Salt Museum. And blast off with out-of-this-world fun at the Kansas Cosmosphere and Space Center. Extreme space, one place. It's Hutchinson, with the attractions, shopping, and dining of a big city, and with the friendliness and convenience of a small hometown. Plan your visit to Hutchinson today at visithutch.com.
This Kansas First News Update is brought to you by Ford.
Hello everyone. The Kansas City Royals look to continue success at Kauffman Stadium. The boys in blue won back-to-back contests against Baltimore over the weekend. Now the Chicago White Sox come to town. The division rivals meet for the first time since the opening week of the season. KC won 2 of those matchups. The Royals bust out to a big advantage in the first inning. Eric Hosmer has a 2 RBI double. Billy Butler drives him in with a single to center field. And Lorenzo Cain plates 2 more on a base hit as the Royals jump ahead 5-zip after the first inning. Then the Chicago White Sox start to heat up with the long ball. Alexi Ramirez belts a 3-run shot. Royals deficit gets trimmed up a bit. It's 5-3 at that point. White Sox add another one by Dion Viciato to make it 5-4. Then the White Sox take the lead for good in the 5th inning as Paul Konerko crushes a home run off of Jason Vargas, the 3rd of the night by the White Sox. That puts Chicago on top 7-6. No scoring since then in the 5th. Royals are threatening right now with 2 outs, same score in the 9th inning. If your name is Casey, then you have a pretty good shot at being named Missouri Valley Conference Player of the Year. That's what happens for a pair of Wichita State Shockers. Casey Gillespie and Casey Williams earn top honors in the Valley. Gillespie leads the conference in hits, RBIs, home runs, and batting average for the baseball Shockers, while Williams, who played softball at Emporia State, led the league in homers and batting average. Wichita State catcher Tyler Baker of Shawnee Heights, he's on the 2nd team All-League and All-Defensive squad, while Siemens' Eric Charay is honorable mention 2nd baseman and All-Defense. He plays at Missouri State. Area golfers try to punch a ticket into next week's state championships. We have several local teams with successful rounds during the regional tournaments. In Class 6A, Washburn Rural captures the regional crown in Derby. Manhattan takes 2nd place. Both of those rosters advance to state. Rural's Andrew Beckler takes top honors, and the entire Junior Blue squad finishes in the top 10. Junction City's Shane Lee, Steve Kim, and Dalton Sezenak go on to state. Seaman and Shawnee Heights move on to state for Class 5A. Cody Foster of the T-Birds finishes 2nd individually. Emporia sends Cody Burson and Max Detweiler to state. In Class 4A, Hayden ties with Bueller for the top spot. Holton's Ethan Holiday finishes in 1st place individually. Parker Waters and Ryan Elder from Wamego both qualify for state. Now, summer vacation is right around the corner for many teenagers, but not a lot of 17-year-olds can say they'll compete on the national stage. One of the exceptions, a special young man named Trevor Hallman.
I'm working out for the swimming exercise, and it helps me get a lot better and more stronger, so I could push myself.
17-year-old Trevor Hallman is getting ready for an experience of a lifetime. The junior at Washburn Rural is one of a few Kansans set to embark on the 2014 USA Special Olympics Games.
I've been training hard, and I felt like I'm ready to go. And I'm a little bit nervous, but I'm prepared.
Trevor competes for the Topeka Junior Blues and will hop in the pool for several swimming events. He's trained with Washburn Rural swimmer Craig Haug since January.
He's a really good guy, and he can train me harder and harder I ever get.
In itself, it's an amazing experience just to come here and train with a Special Olympian. But the fact that it's Trevor, he's one of my best buddies, it just makes it, that much better, and it's really just amazing.
He's won 60 gold medals over 9 years with Special Olympics, but this is Trevor's first trip to the national competition.
I felt like I'm ready to be strong to swim.
Trevor raised $750 for the week-long trip next month in New Jersey. His parents, Brittany and Brian, are overwhelmed with the support.
Trevor's my best bud, so I love spending time with him, and he's just a great son, excellent student, really easy guy to get along with, and we have a lot of fun together.
The expectations we have every time we go to either a local or this time being a national competition is the opportunity for him to make friends and experience competition. Excel at something that they normally don't do in their regular day-to-day life. It's what's really important to us.
Trevor is involved with Circle of Friends at Washburn Rural, and the group is ready to cheer him on.
Just amazing support. I mean, he's got a great network of friends through Circle of Friends, through the special education department, and just this high school in general. We've just been so proud and happy with the support that he's gotten.
It's really cool just to see Circle of Friends, Washburn Rural, Special Olympians, all of them come behind Trevor and support him going to New Jersey. It's really quite a sight and blessing to be a part of.
This is Trevor Hammond, and this is Kansas First News #1.
Trevor will fly to D.C. or to New Jersey on a private jet along with his teammates. Also, the Royals lost 7-6 against the White Sox. Stay with us. We'll be right back after this.
Great wines can define a meal, but great wineries can define a weekend. Enjoy the show at visitmo.com.
Do you know how it feels to have so much to spare that you can barely function? Or how it feels to be trapped by anxiety, isolated and overwhelmed? Or to feel like an empty shell, numbing yourself with alcohol and drugs? We can help. We're Vallejo Behavioral Healthcare, providing mental health and addiction recovery services for over 4 decades. Recovery starts here.
There's nothing stronger or more powerful than a dream. Dreams cannot be beaten, broken, or taken. Dreams fight, they persevere, they go on. Dreams will always prevail.
Spring shipments are here. Selection is better than ever. The savings are bigger than ever during the Silverado Sell-Down at Ed Bozart Chevrolet in Topeka. Regular cabs, crew cabs, double cabs. Every Silverado is priced to move now. Silverado has the best fuel economy, a better towing capacity, a better payload, and better warranty than F-150. Plus, you get 2 years, 24,000 miles free maintenance. Get $8,600 total savings on the North American Truck of the Year during the Silverado Sell-Down at Ed Bozart Chevrolet in Topeka.
This nation was founded on rights. What kind of rights am I talking about? The right to scream as 8,000 horsepower nitro-burning cars tear down the track at over 300 miles per hour. The right to party next to the fastest drivers in the world. Experience all that at the NHRA Kansas Nationals this Memorial Day weekend at Heartland Park, Topeka. Tickets at NHRATix.com. Kids 12 and under are free. You're a part of it. The NHRA Nitro Generation. American made.
Receive daily news and storm track weather updates in your inbox. Sign up today at kansasfirstnews.com.
Remember when you couldn't wait for the day to begin? Enjoy the show at visitmo.com.
Finally tonight, a Topeka choir put the closing notes on its anniversary season tonight.
The Topeka Festival Singers presented its closing concert of the year. The program featured several solos and an ensemble of performances. Kansas First News morning anchor Natalie Davis hosted the program and performed. They sounded great.
Always do.
We probably wouldn't sound as great if we started singing, though.
No.
No, so we won't,
We'll
right?
perhaps take it a different direction. Low temperatures tonight going down into the upper 60s, back to 90 tomorrow. We'll continue to track the approach of areas of thunderstorms later this week, starting Wednesday night through Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Just that scattering of thunderstorms as a front will actually be here by tomorrow, but it'll take until later in the week before the storms start firing up along it.
And thanks for watching Kansas First News at 10.
Have a great night, everyone.
Take care.